Alright guys, you seem to like the Mustang video a lot, so here's a video on the Ford F1. A lot of you guys asked for it, so I figured I'd make a real quick video. To those who are just seeing this, I bought a group of 4 cars, and one was a Corvette that I wanted. The rest were, well, they're just extra, but you guys like cars, so I figured, let's make a video on it. So this is either a 48, 49, or a 1950 Ford F1. Don't know which one it is, because they were all the same for those 3 years. Weirdly enough, Ford decided that it could sell the exact same truck just by changing the paint between 48, 49, and 50, but the trucks are identical. I don't think you could get away with that nowadays, but this one, it's definitely seen better days, but, considering, it's 70 years old and it still exists, it's not bad. So, at one point, probably in the 70s, somebody had made this a show truck. They used a bunch of pinstriping and a bunch of glitter. I mean, that literally looks like the glitter you get in kindergarten. And they put it on the bed sides. It was all over the back of the cab. Actually, really pretty cool patina that you can't replicate, and you couldn't really reproduce it even if you wanted to. For the most part, it's fairly rust-free. The bed's obviously toast. They're always going to be toast. The fenders have a little bit of filler in it, but that's how you fix stuff back in the day. That's kind of the stuff you did. You just mudded it over. The worst part about this truck is this passenger door. I don't know what in the world happened to it, but I can't get it open. The handles are all missing, and it's got this huge crease right here, and the hinge is gone. So, I mean, it's going to need another door. This fender has a little bit of a dent in it. I don't know how something like that happened, but it's there. Let's go around the front. It's got the typical, 70s paint job prep. I'm sure most of these fenders are all dented up and, just from being used over the years, and these aren't any exception. The problem is there's some water that did get down in between the Bondo and the metal and rusted a little bit of that out, but nothing that can't be replaced or fixed. The hood on this truck's actually in really, really good shape. It has most of the trim, just missing one of the front ones. But most of it is all there. The cab is actually in pretty good shape too. I'll show you inside of it. This is the door that opens. So we have basically your normal instrument cluster. Somebody put an aftermarket seat in it. Obviously that's not original to the truck, but it's definitely period to when it looks like this truck was built. Inside the cab, we have another period steering wheel. And my daubers made a nest in the ashtray. It looks like we have a heater, we have a floor panel, you can see an aftermarket transmission. What's this? It's a tack. No, that's an oil pressure gauge, just kidding. And then there's the data plate right there. But the inside of the cab is not bad at all. It's just kind of full of mud dauber nests and stuff like that. So I had to pick up the hood and remove it because it was really just sitting on the truck. So inside the engine bay, the original motor and transmission are long gone. I believe this would have had a flathead of some sort, but what it has is a newer style Ford motor. Probably locked up, probably junk, but according to this valve cover, I think it's a 390 cubic inch, and it was made in June of 1975. So take that for what it's worth. Again, it's probably junk, or at least a good candidate to get rebuilt. The engine actually isn't in any kind of motor mounts. It's actually just sitting in the frame, as you can see by this oil filter that's kind of crushed against it. I believe it has some type of Ford automatic transmission. I would assume a C4, I guess. I don't know. Looks like they did some cutting to the firewall, but I guess I don't know if that's normal, but they did it on this one. To put any kind of LS or anything like that, you'd have to probably do something along those lines. So, but it's in here. It's a good core if that's what you want to use, or you can yank it out and you can sell it. I'm sure it's worth something. I think the original color of this truck was red, I guess. Another thing we can look at while we're under here is there's a plate right here, right there. That should have something to help us figure out what it is. So it's 98RC404131, and it has an 11 on it, I think. But I don't know if that helps us figure out what year this truck is. 48, 49, or 50, I don't know. But maybe you guys can help me out with that. Other than that, I mean, the engine bay is to be expected. You know, all the wiring is kind of meh. You'd have to replace it all anyway, considering it will probably be all 6-volt stuff anyway. But yeah, there's underneath the hood. Now, believe it or not, that Mustang, when I bought it, it had stuck brakes. None of the tires would air up. It was kind of a pain in the butt to get on the trailer. This one, all these tires actually hold air. It's amazing. And it rolls really, really nicely. I didn't have to, you know, break off any of these old wheels. I guess they're turbine wheels from the 70's, and you know, break any brake drums up loose or anything like that. But it was good. So as I said before, this truck was just, you know, bought in a lot, so I don't really have any, you know, real much interest in it. I will plan on selling it, so it's going to be a, you know, bill of sale only. It doesn't have a title, but you know, titles are fairly easy to get if you're willing to put in the work. Usually costs about another $200. So if you're interested in it, feel free to send me an email, send me a DM on Instagram, any of that kind of stuff, and we will see what happens to it.